Most people think about buying an electric vehicle, or they bought an electric vehicle because they believe that they are contributing to the environment. Reducing their carbon footprint and doing something responsible towards saving the planet. A lot of people are talking about global warming, climate change, and people are thinking, oh, if I buy an electric vehicle, maybe I'm doing my part, reduce the carbon emissions. I'm the good person here. I'll do my little part. But there is a catch here. And a lot of people are not talking about this. And in this episode, we are going to talk about how a lot of people who are buying electric vehicle reported they actually regret buying those vehicles. We are also going to discover information, things that have not been shared before. We're going to deep dive and figure out what it is, the politics behind it, the technologies, and a lot of good stuff. So I want to welcome Mike and Mark yet again on Beyond
Hi.
Performance from Dubai. And let's dive in. First of all, why are so many people regretting buying electric cars? What's going on here?
I think when we only talk about the electric cars, there is a lot of material that is not so good for the electric way. I think the most important part is the range and the charging infrastructure.
Yeah.
And then we will see that not only the electric car, there is not only one solution to reduce the emission. We have to see a lot of more points there.
Absolutely.
But we see the point of the politic, right, Michael? When we see Michael and me, we are both from Europe, and I think the European Union made the hardest regulation for emissions.
Yeah.
They say for a personal car, we should reduce the emission, also the emission, the CO2, directly from the exhaust until 2030 in 55% and 2035 100%. But how should this work to reduce until from 2035 the emissions to 100%?
It's a very big ask, isn't it? And it's going to be difficult. Yes. So is there any other, why are there so many people reporting? Is this because the battery, or what is the cause of this regret that are being reported so much?
They are not emotional. Also this cars.
Yeah.
I think they are not emotional.
Yeah?
And
And the
definitely
real
are.
driver and an enthusiast
Okay.
want to feel a car.
Yeah.
The car is a part of your identity.
Yeah.
And sorry, an electric car, okay, I don't want to say the electric car is bad.
Yeah.
Very good acceleration, for example,
Yeah.
but straight ahead is so boring. I'm not a drag race fan. And
Scary fast, but
To start with. Yeah. Okay. And then you mentioned something about infrastructure. What was that about?
okay, for example, you have
charging
a
infrastructure.
Charging
very
infrastructure.
expensive electric vehicle, and you're a businessman, and you have to drive a lot of kilometers or miles per day. You can't drink so much coffee. You have to stand minimum 20 minutes at a charger. It's a lot of time. And I have to say, when you are charging and you drink a coffee in the break, okay, you can do some other things in the break, but we're talking about coffee, you also need the same time for the toilet.
and also you've got to take into consideration that there may be a queue for the chargers.
So
And
it's
not all of the chargers are going to work all of the time, because some will need repair, and others you're just joining a queue of traffic, waiting for your turn at the slot.
So what I'm
What
hearing
you're saying.
is that it is inconvenient because of the infrastructure for charging, that people have to charge multiple times if they're doing a long
If
distance.
they're doing a long distance, yeah.
And it's really inconvenient. Is that
Yeah.
is that why people are regretting?
Yes.
And it can be inconvenient too, even if they're doing short distances, but they've not managed their battery properly.
So
If
they
they-
always have to think about the batteries.
Yeah, if they hadn't plugged it in last night and they head off to work, they're only doing 25 kilometres, but after 20 kilometres, they're getting a warning that they're not going to have enough to get home, so they've got to make a stop.
And is
that
it
can be
also
another
because
queue.
they don't have a lot of charging points around? I mean, in Dubai, we've seen there are a few in the malls and things like that, but it's not as common as I would see on a petrol station, for example.
Oh, there's a lot more petrol stations than filling stations. Refill charging points,
Yeah.
yes. But all of the malls have got charging points.
Is that most of the regret points because of the infrastructure?
No, there's other regrets too with depreciation,
Depreciation of the car itself.
car and the battery.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about that. So if I were to buy, or if I'm going to buy an electric car, what are the points that I should think about before I actually dive in to buy?
What sort of regular driving are you going to do is the first one,
Yeah.
because that's probably the most important and least thought of. Because when you go out and buy a normal car, you don't even think about you don't have these thoughts. What's my normal journey? Or what happens if come the weekend?
So if I go and think I'm just saving the planet, that's not a good idea, is it?
Well, it is a good idea, but it's not the only idea you should have in your head when you're looking for one. Because if you're just doing a short journey into the city and back again each day, an electric car may be absolutely perfect. Maybe. If you've got home charging facilities.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, makes
If
sense.
you don't, it may not be ideal.
But about the technologies, I mean, the new Teslas, they look nice and sleek. And, I'm not going to think that, do I have a charging point at home, or is it going to be very difficult if I have to charge multiple times? I'm just going to think that, okay, the car looks sleek, the technology looks cool, and it's so nice, it doesn't even have a sound, and I'm not contributing to the carbon footprint. So are we saying that this is not enough? What are the stories behind it?
What you've just described is the ideology of it.
Ideology of it.
It's an absolutely ideal scenario.
Isn't that what is told to everyone? Isn't this what is told that people like me think about that kind of stuff?
Yeah, that's what people know. But it goes a lot deeper than that. It really does.
Okay.
There's another point. We can reduce all these discussions on the battery. There is a lot of discussion of the production of the battery packs. There are some persons, they say it's more dirty than driving over many years a combustion engine car. The other ones say, no, the batteries are very good, and there's a lot of recyclable parts of the battery after the lifetime. But we should realize that the modern battery packs for electric vehicles have a very good lifetime. They lose the capacity, the most of the capacity in the first 3 years, and then much slower. And in the statistic, we can see that the lifetime of a battery is nearly like the usage of 400,000 kilometers of a combustion engine car.
Okay.
You can use the battery up to 8 years, and you have nearly lost 15%, maximum 20% of the capacity.
Of the battery?
In the average, that says the statistic, in the average you are losing nearly 2.3% of the capacity per year.
So if that's the case, then how long does a battery last? And battery is the heart and soul of the electric vehicle. If that dies, then what does one do? Do you go fix it, or what happens?
That's another point why so many people regret electric vehicles. They heard stories that the battery is broken and the warranty is no longer there, and you have to pay $50,000-$60,000 for a new battery. And the car is only a few years old. Okay, but the facts telling us another story. A total battery loss was only 0.3% of all the electric vehicles in the market.
Okay.
And then we come back to the regulation. I'm not a fan of all the over-regulated systems. Especially the European Union has the strongest rules. Also with the Euro 7 norm that is coming, that is not only about the emissions of a car, it also included the brake particles and the tire particles. And included also a quality certificate for the battery. You have a digital certificate for your battery then. It's like a digital report, like a service report for a combustion engine car. And so you can see the charging times, and especially the high-speed charger is not so good for the battery. And that's a point for the lifetime of a battery. Also, do you use your car in the mountains very often or for towing? That's very important for the battery lifetime. And all these points you can see in the digital report for the battery. And that is, on one side, very good for the transparency of the battery, especially when you like to buy a used electric vehicle. And that's also a very good point.
Yeah.
An electric vehicle has a very big loss of the value in the first 3 years.
Okay.
We
More
have
than
a
the
very
combustion
good
engine.
example there.
On the recharging as well, you've got to consider that if you just if you take your car out and it's on full charge, and you go down to 90% charge, and then you on a regular basis you go down to work, 10% used, you plug it in. Drive home, 10% used, plug it in. All you're doing is you're only effectively stretching the battery for 10%. Over a period of time, that deteriorates the battery as well.
Okay.
You see it with your laptop.
Yeah.
If you keep it plugged in all the time, the battery is relying on the power that you're plugging into it. It's not relying on itself and reusing itself. You're supposed to run a battery down and then recharge it.
Okay.
And that's not always possible. And the other thing is, you plug your car in when you get home from work at 7 o'clock, you go off to bed at 10 o'clock, and you leave it fully charged overnight, and then you come out at 9 o'clock in the morning to and unplug it. It's been sitting fully charged but plugged in.
And that's
that
also not good.
deteriorates the battery.
Also, so many ways that the battery can deteriorate. And that means that the value of the car can drop, as you said, which means that the second-hand value of the cars may drop considerably lower. Do people even buy second-hand electric vehicles?
Yes, I can give you a good example. The Porsche Taycan, for example.
Yeah.
It's a high-performance electric vehicle. And Porsche was, I think, the first company that brought out an 800-volt battery system. And the performance of the car is very good. And for example, when you bought a Porsche Taycan Turbo or Turbo S, cost more than $200,000.
A new car.
A new car, yes. And actually, after 3 or 4 years, you can buy the same model for $80,000. Show me a 911 with such a high loss of value. After a few years, you will not find it.
Yeah.
And that's the point. Okay, that's a good opportunity. You can buy a used Taycan for much less money than a new one. And I think you also will get a very good car. And also with the new digital report for the battery, it's a good opportunity to buy one. But that's the point that Michael said. With all the loading, when you only use 10-20% of the battery capacity and you're loading then to 100%, that's not good. It's a question of the usage, and of the country. Which infrastructure is there? What kind of car do you need? And this question is more important than in the time before. When you buy a combustion engine car, okay, you have make the decision between, is a diesel the right one for me or a classic fuel engine? And diesel only makes sense when you drive long range of highway and so on. then a diesel makes sense. Diesel is not good for short range driving.
Yeah.
And that's the same like
Yeah.
with an electric car. How big should your battery be?
So I want to ask you a question. I just came back from India, right? And I was in a city called Bangalore, and I was going from a place to another place, which was about 20 kilometers. And it took me 2 hours to get to point A to point B, which is only 20 kilometers. In Dubai, it would have taken me around, I don't know, 20 to 25 minutes. And it took me 2 hours. Would an electric vehicle work in this kind of situation, in this kind of city?
I think India has not the infrastructure to charge your battery very
let
good.
alone the infrastructure, but even that kind of traffic, that would be very
Well,
difficult, right?
during the summer here, we have that kind of traffic
Yeah.
at times during the day, and during the winter in certain places that are popular with the tourists, that type of traffic is quite common. So you know yourself, you've been down to the marina, and we've got out and walked because the taxi driver says this is going to take 20 minutes to get down there, and it's a 3-minute walk.
Yeah.
When we compare full electric vehicles to classic combustion engine vehicles, I think we have to see that there are technologies between.
Yeah.
And especially you talked about India. I think India is not the right country to bring it like the European Union. They want to make that nearly all new car from 2035 is an electric car.
It wouldn't even make sense there. It just wouldn't work.
Yes, that's the point. And so we will see that manufacturers have different strategies, and the European Union is completely driven by ideology. Sometimes it makes no sense. Scientists will say, you can't do this.
Yeah.
You're destroying your economy.
London's had regulations for entering London for a long time, and they're carbon related. So if you've got a fairly new car, then you pay less. If you've got an older vehicle.
Oh, is that fee, isn't it,
Yeah.
to get into London if
Yeah.
you had drive your own car? Yeah, I
And
remember
if you've got
that,
an
yeah.
electric vehicle, you get in for free
Oh,
because
okay.
you're not adding to the pollution.
Okay.
Yes,
that's in the city.
they try to push it. They try to push the electric vehicles. But we have to see that it makes not sense for every person.
Yeah.
And so we have to see all the technologies between. And there is not only black and white in the market. And the full focus on no emission, it's a high goal. Okay, but is it realistic in this time? The car manufacturers will tell you it's not realistic. But they didn't in the past, and now they have the big problems. Okay, the other side will say you have to start your development process much before. Okay, there are always both sides. But the biggest knowledge, especially in Europe, was about the combustion engines. This technology was the main industry, or is the main industry.
Especially for Germany, isn't it?
Yes, especially for Germany, yes,
Yeah.
that's right.
Well, France was big on making
Okay,
cars
with all the
too.
regulations, when
And
we go
Italy.
back to the past, it helped us to get much cleaner engines with particle filter systems in the exhaust, the complete new engine development we have. It helped to reduce the emissions, yes. But to say that the classic combustion engine has to be dead is not the only way. You can see it through all the different strategies the manufacturers have to go, especially India. Or also look at China. China, for example, is the main manufacturer for batteries. And they say, no, we not only provide electric vehicles, we have an open structure. The EU say, no emissions. China say it's not realistic. So we have other technologies too we provide. And it's a question of the user and what the user needs, and the question of your surroundings, in which area you live.
Yeah.
So for a lot of people, can I say that if people have the right kind of infrastructure and they have charging facilities, then they are using it for short distance regularly, then there is no regret. But if they have not considered any of this, then
In the UK, I can't speak for other European countries because I've not spent enough time there. But in the UK, the towns and cities, the residential side of it, are quite a lot of a whole row of connected houses. And there is no parking facility. You park on the street. So when you get your electric car home, if you can get your car right outside your door, okay. But you might be 3 or 4 cars up the road that's available.
oh dear,
And
then
you've got to run a cable all the way up the footpath.
just to charge the car.
Just to charge the car.
Yeah.
And we have to see another point. It makes a difference if a government say you have to or you can.
Okay.
Is it working like a plan economy or like a classic market economy? Look at many other countries. They bring a lot of offers, a lot of technologies, infrastructure,
Yeah.
but you can choose what you need.
There's
And in the European
incentive.
Union, more and more they say you have to. You have to buy this. You have to do this.
Then-
When not, then. And that's
Yeah, that's not
that's the new speaking in the European Union. And I
there's-
think that's the problem.
Yeah, there's incentives in the UK. There's incentives for people to save money and buy small vehicles because that's the type of driving they do. They don't need a humongous Ford Terminator or whatever they call them truck. They buy themselves a nice, sensible, small family car, and they go shopping with it, and it's fine. And it emits so little emissions. And if they say no more of those, getting an electric equivalent of that is going to be very expensive.
You can see how it works. Actually, in many cities in Germany, when you are driving, for example, a G-Wagon with a big V8, you're a bad guy. You're a really bad guy.
Really? Is
When
that
you- when
people
you-
are divided
when
that
you
way?
drive an electric vehicle, oh, you are completely clean. Others say you are completely stupid. So all the political involvement produces 2 chapters. And we are moving in a situation in the public that's only black or white, but it isn't. So we have to talk about hybrids, hydrogen, e-fuels, all the different technologies between.
Yeah.
We have a lot of solutions. You can't bring only one solution and say that's the recipe for all our problems.
Yeah.
That's not
It
possible.
makes sense. It makes sense. Do you want to add if there are any pros of buying an electric vehicle? There are a lot of regrets that we just spoke about. Is there any pros that you want to add? I think I remember you saying about rapid acceleration or
Yes,
something like that.
the
Yeah.
pro of an electric engine is it's very effective. With the energy from the battery, you have from the first moment of movement, you have the full torque. So it's very effective. You can create very good acceleration with an electric vehicle. I think the electric engine is nearly the most effective engine you can have. And that's a very big pro. And also the construction of an electric vehicle, the center of gravity is very low because the battery pack is completely at the underground of the car. And
How does it help?
the weight distribution is a better one. The handling is good because the center of gravity is very low. And that's a very important point for the handling of the car.
Handling of the
Yes.
car. Okay.
The other point is electric vehicles are very heavy because the battery is so heavy. And yes, and then we have the other point with the value and the loading infrastructure.
Yeah.
Yes.
The debris from the braking systems and the tyres. Well, electric vehicles have definitely got tyres, and they'll probably have a braking system of some sort that isn't just the battery. How are they regulating against electric vehicles with those particles?
I think there is a lot of pressure also on the tire industry to develop a new technology and new tires with a better quality and lower, absorption of particles. And then you have to say another pro for an electric vehicle is the recuperation.
The recuperation.
Yes, you can use, they call it one-pedal driving. That's when you drive very smart, you don't need the braking system. You can change the setup of the recuperation, and when you bring it to a high level, you pull your foot off the pedal and your car is braking because of the electric engine, and the energy goes back to the battery then. And it's like braking, but it purely comes from the electric engine.
Okay.
And that's the recuperation. And you can change the level of your recuperation in the electric vehicles, and that's a completely new experience of driving then.
Okay.
That seems like something I have noticed with the taxis around here, is sometimes it seems that you've got a driver where he's coming off of the accelerator.
Acceleration, yeah.
And it's a really uncomfortable drive for the passengers anyway.
Well, that's the point of the setup. So that's another point from the emotional side. With an electric vehicle, you feel more like a system administrator, not like a driver.
Because you
So
have to
it's-
change the
yes,
settings.
It's more the point of the setup of the car and how you handle the setup. Not you handle the car, you handle the setup.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, you're
Yes.
right. It's like doing computer works on the vehicle. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's not like driving a car. It's like driving a computer.
Yes, yes.
Oh my God, that sounds so bad. Driving a
And
computer.
also most of the electric vehicles, for example Tesla, they have so much cameras because of autonomic driving. They are real big data centers. They are collecting so many data from your surroundings and so on. What happens with it? But that's another point we can talk about, but it's too
Yeah.
too much.
Too much.
Yes.
Okay.
But yeah, that's actually a good point, because you've got all these cameras around the car, but there aren't mirrors. They've got cameras. So if there's any blip on one of these cameras, then you can't see what's coming behind you.
Yeah.
So
So there is a element of, if the system goes down or malfunction in some way, then there is some
Yeah.
danger to it, because you can't manually override these things, because there isn't the equipments are not suited. Yeah.
if somebody knocks the mirror off your car, well, that's one thing. But at least you've got other points of reference. If the reverse cameras of all on the same circuit and you've lost all of them, then that would be quite dangerous.
Yeah, for some persons, the technology is so new that they say, okay, I go reverse with the car, and suddenly there was a movie where a person was hit on the display.
On the display. Oh my God.
Okay.
Okay, we won't go there. Okay, I want to talk a little bit more about what's happening on the push from the European Commission. Why are they pushing this agenda of the 2030, 2035? What is the thought process, ideology behind it?
Thought processes, that's a difficult one to answer.
Yeah?
They don't have much of a thought process. They've been given an idea and then they say, oh yeah, love it. And that's it, all guns are blazing.
So this is like a norm or like a goal to achieve for the entire European region, to change all the vehicle to electric vehicle. Is that a right understanding?
Yes, but I think there's always the point, what Michael said with the thinking. The example is Germany. They shut down all nuclear plants because there was an accident in Fukushima. It's too dangerous, was the point. We all should drive electric vehicles, but Germany has not the capacity to produce all the energy from themselves. They have to buy the energy from France, Belgium, and so on, and they want to say, we are completely green. We have our windmills, we have solar energy. Okay, the sun is not so often shining there, too many clouds. And all your energy is green. You can't solve this part in a high industry country like Germany. It doesn't work. We see it every day. The industry is running away. The energy costs are too high.
Yeah.
And then they tell us it's a problem when every people charging the smartphone in the night. Okay, what's when there are more and more electric vehicles?
What will happen then?
Yeah, what will happen then? It's not possible. You can't make a plan without research
the current infrastructure.
Yes.
That's been reported in other places too, where people have been told to switch their electric devices off because of the weather's too cold, or in the UK it's too hot, you can't have your AC on because it's using too much power.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, try doing that in the UAE. It's so hot all the time. People are in the AC.
But that's what I said in the beginning. Look, for example, to China. Okay, China has very high emission. China is the main manufacturer for batteries. They
are also the main country that pollutes the atmosphere.
Yes. But they say it's not possible to bring only one technology. United States, the same. Since 2025, the United States is more open to other technologies. In the past, it was also an electric way. But it's not possible. It's not realistic, especially in this small timetable they gave us.
So why do you think why do they even think about this? Is it because they really haven't understood that it cannot happen, or is it just trying to push the agenda?
There are more points. There must be a beginning for lower emissions. I think that's logical and that's okay. But the strategy is the question. Which way is the right way? And that there must be a beginning. That is okay, but it must be realistic.
Yeah, but
what
it cannot be the end goal as stop all combustion engines.
But it's interesting because back in the 80s, when they first started talking about the climate change, they were saying in 12 years we're going to be in such a state, the ice caps are melting, mass flooding all over the place, and Florida is going to disappear off of the map. And they put 12 years. And then at the end of that 12 years, they just allowed it to carry on. There was no major panic. There was no major flooding. Yes, the environment is warming up, but it's not the catastrophe that people are being sold.
There are people outside that are saying all this climate change is only a big business model. Okay, there are other persons, they say we have to do this. Okay, there is always a way between. And we have more and more this black and white situation. And so, especially for the cars, let's perhaps take a look on the other technologies. And we see there are some other solutions.
Much better.
Much better solution than just going the EV ways.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, and better or not better, we need more solutions. There is not only one way.
Yeah. And there seldom is only one way in business anyway, isn't there?
Yes, that's right.
And also, why are they singling out only the electric vehicle? Is that the only contribution to the
Because of zero emission. And the emission only seen at the exhaust. Electric vehicle
because
has no
it's
exhaust,
visible.
So it's okay. And when you see all the production lines, what you need for a battery pack, lithium, aluminium, cobalt, nickel, and so on, all the production process, then the recycling process, and so on. Yes, over all the time, the statistic shows us it's cleaner than a combustion engine.
The output of a battery is cleaner than the output of a combustion engine.
Yes. Okay.
The construction of the battery is not quite as clean
as the construction of the combustion engine.
But you have to see all the parts together and then over the years.
Yeah.
And the last statistic showed us that over the years, the electric vehicle is cleaner in all the processes than the combustion engine vehicle.
Okay.
But it's not realistic that every person will drive an electric vehicle because of the country.
And
the
infrastructure.
And the infrastructure. So the next station is the hybrid.
Yeah.
And we have 3 different types of hybrid. We have a mild hybrid, we have a full hybrid, and we have the plug-in.
Okay, can you share for the audience what is a mild and full and plug-in hybrid? Can you explain it to
Yes,
them?
a mild hybrid, for example, is like every Mercedes-Benz engine is working. It's electrified. You have a small battery, and the small electric engine helps the combustion engine in critical times. For example, at the first, when you start to move with your car, the torque for the electric engine is completely there from the first moment, and it reduces the feeling of a turbo lag also from a combustion engine. And the combination from a small electric engine and the combustion engine is very good there. You don't have to load it because it's only a small engine that helps the combustion engine. Then you have the
What
full hybrid.
recharges that?
Sorry?
What recharges that battery?
Recharge the battery comes from the combustion engine, and when you are braking, for
So
example,
you
then
don't need to
recharge
plug
the
it
battery.
in. You don't need to plug it in.
Then we
Yeah.
come to the full hybrid. The full hybrid has a bigger electric engine and a bigger battery, and both components, the combustion engine and the electric engine, bring the best sides of the components together. So you can drive in some situations like stop and go, or when you only drive very slow, full electric. And then when more power is needed, the combustion engine
Takes over.
takes over,
Yeah.
and they work together. You don't have to recharge it manually. It's completely in the system. Then
Okay.
when you drive electric, for example, when you drive in normal conditions, the combustion engine charges the battery also. And every braking process charges the battery, for example. Then we have the plug-in hybrid. That's the biggest solution of both components. You have nearly like a fully electric vehicle. You have a big battery and a big electric engine and a combustion engine. You can load the battery manual at a charging station. You can drive fully electric, 50, 60 kilometers, for example. And you can drive also long range distance because you have also a combustion engine.
Oh, perfect.
But it
yeah.
makes only sense when the battery is loaded, because you have the weight of both components.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have a very complex technology of both sides. You need a tank, you need the exhaust system, you need an exhaust cleaning system. You need all the parts from both sides, so the car
Yeah.
is very complex and very heavy.
Yeah.
But it's a solution for situations when you drive long range on, for example, on the German Autobahn, when you need a lot of kilometers per year. You drive 40,000 kilometers per year, for example. Then an electric vehicle is too complicated with all the loading infrastructure and so on. And that's a good solution. But when you see the regulations from Europe, also a hybrid has no future.
Oh, why is that?
Well, because there are emissions as a combustion engine. And then we come to the next technology point. It's hydrogen.
Oh, okay. So,
We have both ways to use hydrogen. We have the fuel cell and we have the hydrogen combustion engine.
so you don't use a battery. You use the combustion engine, but as a hydrogen fuel. Is that what we're talking about?
When we talk about the fuel cell, the fuel cell is technical an electric vehicle because your fuel is hydrogen and it's in a high pressure tank, and together with carbohydrate, it produces the energy for an electric engine. And then you have a small battery from the recuperation from the braking and so on, where the energy can be saved. And,
Recycled, do
yes. And then you can go to a gas station and you can tank it like a normal car. So you don't have the long charging times. And then the next part
Is
is
it safe?
hydrogen, very explosive. You have to see that. Remember the time, I think it was in the 30s, the big airship Hindenburg explode because of it.
Then
And-
isn't it quite dangerous? Maybe that's why they're not being used.
Yes,
It's not as common.
the gas stations have
They-
to
they
invest
did-
in
they
another
did,
in another process to fill the tank.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the
Yeah,
point.
they did make bombs with this stuff too.
Yes, but you can transport it like normal fuel,
Well-
and they have to find a solution to make it a little bit safer.
Well, tell us in a comment below, would you drive a vehicle with hydrogen as the fuel? Mark just mentioned that it is quite explosive, and Michael just mentioned that you make bombs with that, but
But why it is so explosive, it's very effective.
yeah.
And when you have the hydrogen combustion engine, for example, you can use nearly the technology we have with a few modifications. You can bring a normal combustion
So it's a
engine with
viable
hydrogen.
solution. Is that what we're
Yes,
talking
yes.
about?
And
Okay.
especially for countries with no good infrastructure with charging and so on, and especially because it's very effective,
hang
you
on.
can use it for transport.
Is it used anywhere at this moment in the world? Do we have any examples of?
No, it's a research and development process.
Is this research and
Yes,
development
yes.
project? Okay.
There have been fires from electric vehicles, haven't there?
Yes, a lot of I don't know, but we have
There are
seen
some.
in the newspapers there are some issues with fire of electric vehicles. The driver can't move out because all the energy was over of the battery. They can't move out from the car, and they are burning in their cars. Yes, there are some stories. You can see it on the internet,
Yeah.
newspapers, that electric vehicles are burning because of the batteries, and it's very complicated to keep out the fire.
Okay, so now we know that there are people looking at other options for fuel, like the hydrogen as a research and development project. Is there any other that are viable solution or that are being
We have
used
to
currently?
talk about e-fuels.
E-fuels. Okay, let's talk
very,
about e-fuels.
Very important.
Okay.
It's
What is e-fuel?
e-fuel is a synthetic fuel.
Okay.
It's also made from hydrogen, and I think it's carbonized.
Carbon.
Carbon
yes.
dioxide.
Yes,
Okay.
and there you can create a synthetic fuel. It's very good to reduce classic fuel, diesel, kerosene. We also need solutions not only for normal passenger cars. We need solutions for buses,
Yeah.
for trucks, for
Ships.
for
Yeah.
heavyweight transportation, ships, planes, and so on. And there comes is e-fuel, a very good alternative. But the production process is very expensive actually, and not so easy. But it could be a very good solution between, especially for areas where electric vehicles make no sense.
So e-fuel is used in a combustion engine. Is that what
Yes,
we're talking
yes.
about? Okay.
You can use every classic engine, nearly every classic engine.
But all development is expensive
Yes,
until it's properly understood,
yes.
and then it can be mass produced.
But all this development process actually is the biggest problem of all the manufacturers. They have to develop with all these new processes. And there are not enough people they are able to pay for it now. And that's the problem with hydrogen, for example. Because it's so expensive, there will be no infrastructure without users. But without infrastructure, there will be no users.
Yeah. So it's a
Yes.
catch-22.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Chicken and the egg.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But
It's like the Grand Canyon. Build a hotel, but there's nobody here. Nobody comes to visit. Build a hotel and they will come.
So they did build a hotel because we
Yep.
went there, and people are there
They've
now.
turned it into a national monument, one of the most fantastic tourist spots in the world.
So we have hopes that just like the Grand Canyon now has a hotel after not believing that people would actually come there, there is a possibility that we may have something like the e-fuel and the combustion engine still works
Yes.
on this type of fuel.
Production of e-fuel, the cost of production for e-fuel will come down when it's being mass produced.
So is this good for the environment? Is this carbon?
It's carbon neutral.
Okay, it's carbon
So
neutral.
it still emits carbon, but no more than was
What it's taking.
used in its production.
the
Yeah.
end is water and heat.
Yeah. So that is good. If it is carbon neutral, then if all the vehicles, imagine all the vehicles in the world,
It's a lot cleaner as well.
if they all become carbon neutral, they take and give away, and they don't add in to the global warming. That would be a really ideal solution.
And we have to see all the vehicles in the market. That's also like a lie. In Europe, older trucks, for example, are forbidden. And here in the Middle East, all these older trucks, they are
Wait, hang on a
forbidden
second.
in
Can
Europe.
can
They
you
are driving here in the Middle East.
Can you share why are they forbidden in the Europe?
Yes, because of the emission norm.
So they're not allowed to drive
They are
anymore.
not allowed to drive anymore, and now they are driving in Africa, here in the Middle East, in South America.
perhaps
They are
in
driving everywhere, but not in Europe.
So does Europe like have an air wall that is keeping the air?
Yes, and the angels are the border presidents. Oh, dirty air! You're not
Dirty air,
allowed
don't
to
come to
in.
Europe.
Yes, yes. Yes, it's a little bit crazy.
Can't keep the unwanted out from ground level, so they keep it out.
I think it's
at
good to
higher
have the
levels.
motivation to solve all these
Yes,
problems with
yes.
the emission. It's good to have the motivation,
Absolutely.
but it has to be realistic.
Yeah.
And when we see it worldwide, you can see it for the car manufacturers. How many car manufacturers, they said 5 years before, yes, we are going fully electric. They had to stop it because it will not work. So nearly every car manufacturer made new plans. For example, take a look at BMW. They are completely open for all technologies. They say, okay, we bring every car, nearly every car, with the different powertrain. Yes, for example, the new BMW X5 will come with 5 different powertrains.
Okay,
you
can
can
you
buy
explain?
it diesel, you can buy classic fuel, you can buy hybrid, plug-in hybrid, you can buy hydrogen, and you can buy fully electric.
What?
And
Well, they have hydrogen as well now?
yes.
Oh, wow.
BMW is one of the first German car manufacturers. They experimented with hydrogen, and the new BMW X5 will come also with a fuel cell.
Ooh,
And
okay.
it's very interesting, yes. And we have also some experiments with hydrogen and fuel cells in motorsport.
Who made the Hindenburg?
Sorry?
Who made the Hindenburg? It wasn't BMW, was it?
No.
But that's a good one. I was going to say, are you going to be scared of driving that hydrogen fuel car?
But we have to respect this technology.
Yes,
I
of
think
course. Yeah.
worldwide it could be one of the most interesting powertrains, the hydrogen method.
Is this the
especially
first one?
for no, there are some others. Especially for heavyweight transportation, it's very interesting to work with the fuel cell. And then the other example was Mercedes-Benz. You talked about Mercedes-Benz, yes. I think there was a big mistake that Mercedes developed a completely own range of products only for electric. They looked a little bit like a piece of soap that was too long under a shower.
Oh, God.
And okay, you can like it or you don't like it. And it was the EQ series. And now Mercedes-Benz say, okay, at first the model, then the engine. So you as a customer also can choose between different powertrains. And that makes sense. BMW, Mercedes-Benz.
They did
but
that.
but the best strategy for me has Toyota. Toyota makes the multi-pathway strategy, every car, every powertrain.
Oh.
And it's because of the different countries, different conditions, different users, and you can choose what you want. They are completely open. Yes.
Every car has got one powertrain that it has got multiple pathways, so any type of fuel would work. Is that what we...
Everything you want, you can buy.
Okay.
Does the Mazda's revival of the rotary engine have any impact on this?
Yes, there was Mazda. They experiment with rotary engine. It's an old concept.
Yeah,
In the
come out
past,
in
it
the
was not very
70s or
effective,
80s.
but it was very light. And they take the rotary engine like a range extender. The rotary engine produces energy to fill the battery, and so you have a higher range with an electric vehicle.
So higher range as in they can drive longer, is that what we mean?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's the middle of the hybrids.
Yes, a little bit, but it's more the concept of a range extender they use with a rotary engine.
Is that engine more efficient? I'm just wondering, would that be adopted by others because it's more efficient than the other
The
similar?
concept to use the combustion engine as a range extender, other companies make it also, like Audi, for example, with the hybrid models, BMW. But Mazda only use the combustion engine like a range extender and not for driving.
Right.
That's what I understood on this concept.
Okay.
It can be very interesting. We have to see it, how it works in the practice.
Right.
So before we move on to the next part, I want to pick on what you said earlier about electric vehicle and emissions. Is electric vehicle the only thing contributing to the emissions or the carbon footprint, or there are other industries affecting this?
No, there's big industries that are massively impacting.
So it's not just the electric.
It's not just cars.
Yeah. Can you share a little bit?
The biggest and most important one is the tearing down across the world of the rainforests. Rainforests are vital for the creation of the ozone layer. They breathe in all of the waste, including carbon, the carbon monoxide, dioxide, and they store it in their bodies. And they emit oxygen. So they're recycling the carbon dioxide and giving us air to breathe.
And they're being cut down.
And they're being cut down all over the world.
That's got to be the biggest contribution to the climate change.
And when they cut the tree down, it releases all of the stored carbon dioxide back into the atmosphere. So they've taken out the main producer and polluted. And all the heavy equipments that they're using to cut the trees down is all run by what? Fossil fuel.
Yeah.
Polluting the atmosphere. And they've said, oh, well, we'll give everybody until 2050 a chance, and then we'll stop doing it. This is one of the main, it's like a life support system of the planet.
Yeah.
It should be stopped immediately.
You're right.
It's not being used for anything that is productive either. Yes, it's producing food, but the food itself is poisoning the ground because it's covered in chemicals that are made by fuel, funnily enough, which are major pollutants to the environment, as well, the local environment as well as the air supply.
Yeah.
And then they're going to build a city there with all the extra space they've got that was occupied by a rainforest.
Yeah. You're right.
It's an insanity to allow it to keep on happening.
They're
planting palm trees because they grow quickly, but they don't do the same job
as
a rainforest. Rainforests have been there for 1,000 years.
You heard the passion from Mike. If you believe that we should preserve our rainforest, the lung of this planet, then comment rainforest. Share what Mike just said to everyone. We should really, really support this movement where we say that no to cutting down trees, especially the lungs of the planet, the rainforest. We must all do our part to preserve. We are spreading the message, what we can, by sharing information and telling all of you that we must do our part, even if it is just sharing the information. Make sure you share the podcast, share the passion that Mike shared with all of you just now, that all of us must do our part. Well, let's come back to the electric vehicles now. I wanted to ask you, we've talked a lot about the pros and cons. We, in an episode, a couple of episodes before, we talked about the Ferrari Luce. What was that?
Don't mention it.
I want to ask you, Mark, do you have Any favorites of electric cars?
There's not only one favorite you can have because the cars are so different in the electric way. It's also a question for the user. When we see a high-performance electric vehicle, it's an example, the Rimac Nevera. It's a hypercar in the electric way. Nearly 2,000 horsepower, and it goes from 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 2 seconds. Should be. That's the number of the paper. But it seems to work. And it reaches nearly 400 kilometers per hour, and it's fully electric. Then we have another example. It's a four-door car. It's made by a former smartphone manufacturer from China. It's Xiaomi. The Xiaomi SU7 Ultra is also a high-performance electric vehicle that made a very good lap on the Nürburgring Nordschleife, a little bit more than 7 minutes for the full electric vehicle, 5-seater, 4-door.
Wow.
That's very impressive.
Yes.
How many laps would it be able to do of the Nürburgring on one charge, though?
Perhaps 2 or 3.
Yeah.
That's where the impact comes in.
And I think not with the full power.
Yeah.
And yes, when we see the classic electric vehicles, there are a lot of models for the daily use. The start of all the electric vehicles was the Tesla Roadster. That was the first attractive pure electric vehicle. And a lot of the stars at this time wanted to have a Tesla Roadster. That was the beginning. Then with the Tesla Model S came a luxury, a premium limousine to the fully electric way. In the past, electric vehicles, they're looking very boring with very small tires and only focused on aerodynamics and Tesla made the electric vehicles shining like a normal car for the user.
Yeah, yeah.
And there are a lot of very good electric vehicles. BYD made very cheap electric vehicles, but they are not bad. And
but BYD started as a battery company.
Yes.
And converted to making cars when they realised that there was more money to be made in selling electric vehicles with their batteries in than just making and selling batteries.
Because it
very
makes
smart
sense.
move.
Yeah.
But when you ask me for a favorite, I think don't underestimate the Porsche Taycan. You have the high engineering and high quality from Porsche, and it's driving like a sports car. Very good performance. 800 volt system was the first with the 800 volt system, and it's quite a very good electric vehicle. It's also a 4-door car, daily usage, high performance.
Well,
Yes,
you said you
it's
wanted
very
to.
good.
You said you wanted to rent an electric car. Maybe you should get a Taycan.
Yes, to try it, how it
How
works.
it works,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, to make my own really
Decision,
good
yeah.
long range experience with the full electric concept. But I don't want to own it at this moment. But let's see how it
Yeah.
works.
What about you, Mike? Would you buy an electric car?
I'd rather not, but it depends. If that's all there is, and you need to go somewhere,
It
then
doesn't. Yeah.
you're stuck. But if I had to give up the cars, then I would be looking at a motorcycle if it's still allowed, in preference. Or I'd just get a very small car.
Fiat 500 fully electric. Yes, it fits to you.
Yeah. So, what advice would you give? And this question is the final question now. What advice would you give to someone who is looking to buy an electric car?
I would say make sure you done your homework, because there's so many variants. It's not as straightforward as going into a shop and saying, oh, I like that car. Oh, it's a 2-litre, fine, and taking it home. There is a lot more to be considered.
And especially if you have a charging station at home and so on and so forth.
That's one of the considerations.
Yeah. What about you, Mark?
I think so too. There's not only one solution that's the best. you have to think about your usage of the car, your distance you have to drive, how is an infrastructure around you, and perhaps when you are looking forward to buy a fully electric car, you prefer a fully electric car, perhaps a hybrid makes more sense for you. Or think about hydrogen, for example. But that's also the question of the infrastructure. Where can you get hydrogen and so on? And the costs. I think for the most of the people, it will be a hybrid actually. A full
That would
hybrid.
make more sense.
Yes,
Yeah.
a full hybrid. With the strategies, I think we have to say that every car from Mercedes-Benz is electrified. You have only mild hybrid at the lowest range, but every engine from Mercedes-Benz is electrified.
Yeah. Right. As you can see, that electric vehicles, it's not really black and white. You really have to consider what part of the world do you live in? What kind of work do you do? What kind of loading infrastructures do you have in your country or even in your town? Or do you live in a place where it is convenient for you to charge your vehicle? Like if you're in Dubai and you're in the 20th floor and you have to charge the car, it's going to be difficult. So before you buy your electric vehicle, make sure you consider all of these options. It's not just going into a showroom, as Mike said, that you buy this 2-liter engine. It's not as simple as that for electric vehicle. So make sure you consider all of these options. And also, electric vehicle is not the only one that is going to reduce the carbon emissions. There are so many other ways that we can do to reduce our carbon footprint. Maybe use less plastic. Maybe spread awareness of the rainforest. There's so many things that we can do in our little ways. So thank you for being with us. Thank you, Mark.
Thank
you, Mike.
Welcome.
Don't stop enjoying great sounding cars.
Yes, that is so true. You have to add that part. You love cars. Yes. Thank you so much. I've really enjoyed our conversation. There were so many points that we talked about, and I'm pretty sure our audience enjoyed it too. So thank you. Thank you. Take care. Ciao.